Well, welcome back, everyone, and welcome back to Dogecast. In a moment, I want to get into the Dogecoin chart and show you exactly where Dogecoin needs to go to break out of its current trend. But before I do, I want to share with you a clip from former President of the United States, Donald Trump, in which he's talking about cryptocurrency, whether he invests in it, and some of his thoughts on it. Really interesting. I have some thoughts to share with it as well, based off of what he says. Let's get into that next. So let's get into it. I'm going to play the clip here in its entirety, at least the part in which Donald Trump actually speaks about cryptocurrency. Here he is on Fox Business.
Do you ever dabble in Bitcoin or cryptos?
I don't. I like the currency of the United States. I think I think the others are potentially a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know. I feel that it hurts the United States currency. I think we should be invested in our currency, not in, they may be fake. Who knows what they are? But they certainly are currencies. They certainly are something that people don't know very much about. No, I have not been, okay. I have not been a big fan.
Ouch. Couple of things there, though, that I want to talk about. First off, it doesn't seem like President Donald Trump really has much knowledge about cryptocurrencies and what they are. And based off of his own statement, he actually makes that pretty transparent. He says, well, I don't really know much about them. I don't think he's really looked into them that much. But he also opened up by saying that they could be potentially disastrous. You know, over the last 10 years, for as long as cryptocurrencies have been out there, starting with Bitcoin, we've had these financial advisors telling everyone who is thinking about investing in crypto that this is a potential disaster. You can lose everything if you do this. They've been saying this for 10 years now. And the people that said, you know, I'm going to take a shot at it, I'm going to invest in it, those people that did that 10 years ago, they're millionaires now. 8 years ago, they're millionaires. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. At what point do we need to keep going down the line? 100 years from now, are we going to be at the place where financial advisors are going to say, yeah, you know, well, it's potentially disastrous? So we've been hearing that for 10 years. It's never come to fruition, ever. And we continue to see new cryptocurrencies emerge and evolve, even better ones, better systems, better blockchains. So that first statement alone is not really good. Then he kind of transitioned off into saying that I don't want to invest in the American dollar. You know, that's where I think we should be investing, not so much in these cryptocurrencies. So here's the thing, though. The American dollar already competes against hundreds of world currencies, and some of them are major ones, talking about the currency of China, Japan, or the European Union. And so what America does with its currency to make it better against other currencies is by not causing inflation to happen, by not overspending. So the best way to invest in America's currency is by our Congress, by voting individuals in who are fiscally smart. Right now, though, it seems like we have people who are in Congress who just love to spend money all over the place by the trillions and trillions. I can guarantee you, if everyone took all of their money out of cryptocurrency right now and just put it into US dollars, it wouldn't be enough to help what our lawmakers are doing to the US dollar right now by causing it to inflate by incredible rates. I mean, right now, I think the inflationary rate is the highest it's been in decades. So you're talking about investing your money. Well, I think that we should just put it in the US dollar. It's really more about what our lawmakers are doing with the US dollar than what people are doing. If you're putting your money into cryptocurrency, it's the same thing as putting your money in a precious metal. It could be silver or gold or something like that. Are you against putting your money in silver or gold? Is that, well, I don't think we should do that. We should put it in the US dollar. Well, if you're against that, then you'd be against putting it in cryptocurrencies because it's essentially the same thing. It's just a digital version of precious metals. It's a modern day upgraded version of it that's completely decentralized and separated from world entities being able to create more of it, or even any centralized location, system, company, or person being able to create more of it. Once the code is written, once the algorithm is designed, it runs on its own and its security is protected by a number of different things. And they keep getting better over time. Yes, there's been some expensive and difficult lessons to be learned when constructing these cryptocurrencies, but they are getting more efficient, more environmentally friendly, more secure with lower transaction fees, higher transaction speeds, and it's the modern day equivalent of precious metals where people are realizing I could take my hard-earned money and place it here, whether it's a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Cardano, wherever. And by placing it there, it lowers the amount of risk that I have of sticking my money in a bank. And number one, possibly being charged by that bank, interest, fees, or whatever's going on, and then experiencing the deflationary value of the dollar over the years. If I want to take my money rather than keeping it in a bank sitting there for 3 or 4 or 5 years doing nothing, I don't want to necessarily invest in a business that I think might collapse. I'll just put it into a different type of currency, a cryptocurrency that I believe in 3 or 4 or 5 years will actually become much more valuable over time rather than the US dollar. So to me, although that's a little bit of a long-winded explanation there, it looks like Donald Trump really doesn't know much of what he's talking about when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Investing in cryptocurrencies is not the problem for the US dollar. The problem for the US dollar are the US lawmakers. There's no doubt about that. Now, as promised, I said we're going to look at the Dogecoin chart, and I'm going to show you where Doge needs to go to get out of its current trend. So we need to go out to the month chart to actually see where the trend is. The trend is from this line of declination. Now, you could say it started on August 23rd. Yeah, 23rd. But there are some areas where you could say, well, it started here on August 20th, or you could even say it started over here on August 16th, because this line of declination still follows this trend all the way down. And Dogecoin hasn't fully broken out of that since this peak here at 34 cents, all the way back to August 16th. And until today, it's still on this line. So it needs to break out of this line of declination. And generally where Dogecoin would need to get in order to get out of this line of declination is right around 31 to 32 cents, somewhere in that area, or at least hold horizontal at around 30 cents. So if it can hold horizontal at 30 cents for 3 or 4 or 5 days, then it'll be out of this line of declination. Or if it can get to 31 or 32 cents, of course, if it gets there, it should be holding that for a few days at least too. This is not some sort of a spike and a spike down. So for Dogecoin to get out of this, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a few days of 30 cents or upwards to 31, 32 cents. If that does happen, Doge is going to be going into a new trend. So no longer this line of declination. It could go onto a new or a different line of declination or onto a line of inclination or horizontal. So that's what we're looking for. Doge does seem like it kind of wants to get off of that in the last week or so. Hopefully from this point on, we're hopefully trying to get Doge out of this. If it starts to go back down again, it's staying on that line of declination. I do also want to talk about Ethereum. So we're going to start talking about Ethereum a little bit more on this channel. I do highly suggest to you that you diversify your portfolio in part by buying Ethereum. I think Ethereum is one of the better cryptocurrencies for you to own. Ethereum has been doing really good today. It is up 5%. If you look at the month, you can see it's been pretty consistent. It's up about 38% on the month. It did have this time period here where Doge was kind of skyrocketing, screaming up, and Ethereum was just staying steady. But that's okay because that's what Ethereum does. It stays steady and then it begins to rise again. Over the last 3 months, you could see where it's going, and it's actually going to get close to starting to hit its highs as well. So I see good things in the future for Ethereum. The chart is doing really good today. I like the upgrades that I see there as well. And we'll begin to give you a little bit more news on Ethereum, what's going on with that. But hopefully what we see out of Doge is it climbing up to around 30 cents, staying horizontal, or maybe 31 or 32, getting off of its current trend and moving forward. We'll continue to keep you guys up to date on this. Remember, if you are a member of my channel, the next membership video I'm actually going to probably do a portfolio side by side from the very first video I showed you of my portfolio to where my portfolio is now. And you can kind of see the differences there, and hopefully you can measure it against your own portfolio. If you're interested in that, become a member if you're not already. And also I'm going to tell you why I do not sell or rarely ever sell. There's a reason. There's actually multiple reasons for that. But that's going to change if I do switch over all my assets to Coinbase, because in Coinbase, when you're there, you don't have to buy and sell. Well, you have to buy in at least once. But once you're in, then you have other options to shift around your money without having to buy and sell, which will actually hurt you when it comes to taxes. So if you're interested in using Coinbase, if crypto is something you're looking to do in the ongoing future, I encourage you again to be a part of that. So that'll be coming out next. Other than that, though, we'll continue the good news on this main channel. I'll continue to keep you up to date here as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming along with me. As always, I will catch you next time.